Hey up guys, what's going on and welcome back to York City, where I finally have confirmation on how to say his name properly. It is Kakare, apparently. It is Kakare. Thank you, Pew Pew Pew, long-time lurker, according to your comment. If you are a long-time lurker, feel free to say hi. I don't bite, really, much. But yes, I do appreciate the confirmation of that one. I'll probably just continue calling him Maxons for the time being because it's a thing now. Or at least he now knows that I know, which is something. Meanwhile, on the game front, our Januaries continue like our Januaries have done previously. Well, I've just realised we had 3 1-0s in a row last month. It's only just dawned on me. We dispatched Barnsley in a slightly unconvincing manner, 3-2. We did actually have to come back from 2-1 down. That was an unnecessarily tense match. Thank you for that one. But it was followed up by 2 efficient 2-0 wins, shall we say, against other Yorkshire sides. Sheffield United away from home, particularly good that one. And Huddersfield at home. Foreman getting a 2 on that one. I've started playing him on the left-hand side just because I've frankly given up on both Madeira and Alonso at this stage. Coleridge and Aloha actually getting the goals against Sheffield. And then Fulham, irritating, 2-1, narrow victory. Their goalkeeper had the game of his life. He made 14 saves. And considering I'm having to repeatedly fend off Real Madrid for Sergio Dutra, he wants to go. We'll see how this one pans out. We might have an unhappy goalkeeper for a while, but he does have a release clause and I told him as such. It's 41.5 million. They're currently punting in with 15 million, so a little bit way off in the estimations at this stage. And then Tottenham, actually, the most surprising of all, 1-0 away from home. 1-0 at home and 1-0 away from home. We only played them a month ago as well. Escobar getting the goal in that game, capitalising on a mistake from their defenders, in fact. So not entirely of our own doing. Still have the composure to make the finish, though, so that's good news. We've drawn Newcastle in the 4th round of the FA Cup, so I quite like that as a draw, really. It's a team that really should be in the Premier League, but got relegated last year. So it's almost like a freebie when it comes to the not playing the same team twice in the season situation, whilst maintaining good teams in general. Only issue is there appears to be an under-23 tournament for South Americans at the moment, so we are without Velasquez and Rick. We are also without both of our first team defensive midfielders, which isn't great news because with an injury to Medina as well, I can't even put Coleridge one step further because I have no other central defenders other than the 2 on the pitch. Didn't think this was going to become a problem. Which means, against Newcastle, we actually are going to be playing 4-2-3-1 with Loftus-Cheek in the attacking playmaker role. So, Dutra is in goal. I need to change that to sweeper. This one doesn't automatically come there. There we are. And, of course, complete wing-backs on these 2. It's been a while since I set this one up, if I'm honest. There we are. Coleridge and Pemberley in the middle. Shout on the right. Saxton on the left. Grimes and Seri in the middle. I'm going to have to play them. Foreman on the inside forward on the left. Loftus-Cheek in the attacking playmaker. Ebbers back on the right-hand side. Escobar up front. Abelan, a player that you've not seen in about 2 years. I can't remember when we actually brought him through, when he actually became... It was when he became of age, I think. So, yeah, probably 2 years ago. He's not really developed all that much. He's 20 now, but he's on the bench just out of necessity more than anything. He's recently signed a new contract, but his potential ability is one of those ones that, unfortunately, we developed too fast for as a club. But with Wilson's contract up at the end of the year, I did just give Abelan a new one, just in case we need him in emergencies. Wilson wants too much money. But that's a Newcastle team. You can see still mostly, Sunset I've had in Premier League teams before. Jedvaj, very much seen in Premier League teams before. Shanley, of course. Angerin, not quite as good as he can be. Zivkovic over there as well. Longstaff still in the team after 10 years. And Nakatia at front, of course. Angelino left back. A lot of names people will recognise. Although they do have a new gen goalkeeper. In fact, that's the only new gen in their first team, surprisingly. This far into the game, that's quite an achievement. Well, in fact, in a cup game, it gave me the option to say, we've got nothing to lose here, other than the cup match. And our pride, let's be honest, because they are a division below us at this stage. FA Cup scores, please. Thank you. One thing I forgot to mention up front there, was 4 victories in the lead has actually put us in 4th in the time being. Chelsea do have a game in hand, so we will assume that they will win that and say that we're technically in 5th at this stage once they inevitably leapfrog us, depending on who the game in hand is against. But there's no one else in the top portion of the table that has a game in hand as well, so I don't think it's against anyone decent, or at very least a team that is likely to beat them. But Shanley there picks this one up from there. Oh my god, I thought that had gone in. Of course, we had him alone for 1 year. Really, he's still quite good. He's very, very physical. Apart from his jumping reach, of course, but that is due to his 166 centimetres of height. At 22, though, I was expecting him to be slightly better than that. Escobar, I mean, when we loaned him, I said he was probably going to be one of the biggest things in English football. That's nearly gone in. He hasn't quite achieved what I was expecting of him. I don't know if it's just because he's not played enough or what have you, but Seri puts this resulting corner in and Escobar straight at the goalkeeper. I mean, 36 minutes into the game, we've seen, I think, 2 highlights, but there's been 16, 17 shots in the game now. So at very least, the punters are getting a little bit of their money's worth, even if we aren't. Just before half-time here, great time to give it away. Thank you for that. Anyway, Nekatir's in on goal. I say in on goal, he's a bit gone wide. Now he's in on goal because he's just made a mug of number 12. I presume that's Pembele. I'm not sure why a non-goalkeeper's got the number 12. I'm far from pleased. I am far from pleased, really. Because, well, I'm far from pleased with what I've seen, because I've only seen 1 highlight from us, despite 13 shots and 7 on target. So I don't know what we'll be doing with the others. But if I just keep losing Nekatir, well, maybe mark him. What's happened? Must have clicked something. I don't know. Sunset plays that one backwards. It's bounced around a few heads and has ended up at Loftus-Cheek's feet. Try saying that 10 times fast. Saxton on this left-hand side now. Plays it safe. Back to him once more, though. I mean, if we could maybe kick it forwards once. That would be nice, really, Pembele. Forwards to Seri, Loftus-Cheek now once again. Ebbers back. Of course, this is the formation you'll be used to seeing me play with if you're on my Southampton stream Twitches. That wasn't a sentence. But yeah, I play this formation with my Southampton team on the old Twitch, so I'm used to it at the very least, even if this team not necessarily isn't. I mean, we've been training this entire time. It's 15 minutes to go. I don't want a replay, thank you. Escobar, I mean, I can put 4 up front. That's not a difficulty. Aloar's in that under 23, so he's not available for this, which is a bit unfortunate. Can put, oh God, Madeira on the left-hand side, and I can bring Coffee on the right. Coffee's actually been starting on the right-hand side as well. I've ended up playing essentially 2 strikers on the inside forward roles, just because the actual inside forwards have been entirely useless. Garces, though, is coming forward with Shanley on the right side. It's intercepted by Saxton, and he's managed to just about head that to his own team. It was close. Seri, though, is he going to go past number 4? No. Panzo gets in the way of that. Ebersbach collects. Shan? Who's Shan? Xiaonan. It's Shanley. That's just confused me. Xiao. Grimes has had a go from distance. Not quite. 21. We've had 21 shots. What the bloody hell have we been doing? All right, what's the team instructions for this? Just slow it down slightly, but don't focus it down the middle. I don't know what's going on there. This is what happens when you don't double-check your instructions on other tactics. In fairness, playing it through Grimes is not a bad idea. Right. I mean, he's a bit tired. I don't know when our next game is, but I think we do actually have a full week. But we do have a 3rd change to make here. I'm going to do the classic. He's not been bad, but it could do with a bit more fresh impetus on those fullback positions. So Ethan Laird comes on. Grimes is going to have to make do. Just something, maybe. 0-0. Fine. I mean, what an absolute nonsense. Shout out to their goalkeeper, though. 400 minutes without conceding is quite a feat. I'm far from pleased. Off we go. 0-0. What an absolute nonsense. Do we have to play them again midweek, or does it sort of pop in after this Wolverhampton game? No, it goes before the Bournemouth one. Probably around deadline day. Yeah, just after deadline day. Doesn't affect this episode then. So see you in a week for Wolverhampton. We do have the draw course for the 5th round still, despite going to a replay. Tottenham Arsenal, that's a huge one. Liverpool still exist. Swansea, though, if we get Swansea being relegated to League One, oh dear. So if we do get past Newcastle in a replay, which I really hope we do, Swansea await us in the 5th round. Now, admittedly, of course, we've got Euro Cup stuff coming in again soon. So FA Cup commitments might be a bit much at that stage. I don't know. We'll find out. One thing I've kind of forgot to mention. I'm not entirely certain if it's due to the... I'm not sure if it's due to the takeover or not, but our transfer budget was nil. I think it might have been due to the takeover because I'm pretty certain I still had a little bit left. I'm not sure I spent all the money. The left-back situation was due to the fact I would have to get in English under-21 player because I can't register anything else. Because English under-21 or British under-21 players don't need to be registered at all. Just under-21 isn't enough to cut it anymore. So that was why I didn't get a left back, not because I ran out of money. As I said in a recent episode, officialise that last bit there. There we are. But I have just managed to negotiate $1 million from a deal that we sold recently, so I've got $1 million to spend now if I want to. Basically, loan is the best I can get, but we're in exactly the same situation. Unless they're English under-21 or we have an outgoing of a foreign player, I can't bring anyone in. Which is why I'm happy to let a player like Wilson go at the end of the year. As much as I would like to keep him around, I just can't have foreign players around that don't necessarily start reasonably often. And admittedly, yeah, Lentas and Wilson is one that kind of flips over fairly often, but Lentas has basically made that his for the most part, unless he's injured. So, yeah, it's awkward. It's also why I don't mind doing this episode in January, because I'm not really expecting anything to happen transfer-wise. Tottenham came in for Kakare. We got the deal up to about 34 million, but he's got quite a bit of a sell-on fee and things like that, so I kind of figured it wasn't entirely worth it, considering what we lose. Like I say, it is a foreign player, of course, but then we'd have to try and get an English one in to replace him, perhaps, so we can have a bit more flexibility elsewhere, because he's a backup player. And then there's a premium on those. Only 17 months remaining on his contract. That's more than a year. Shut up. Why do you get nonsense questions like that? He's got more than a year left on his contract. This is what I mean, by the way. It's not just Real Madrid, but these guys keep coming even lower. Fulham, what? Fulham, what are you playing at here, Fulham? There's the table, by the way, and the fact that West Ham and Brighton have played narrows down the options for Chelsea, and it appears to be Leeds. So, yeah, you would expect them to leapfrog us again. Why is Lentas so popular all of a sudden? No, I'm not selling him to a team I just beat twice in the Euro Cup. More importantly, he should really think about that fact as well. So, Man United have just beaten Arsenal to essentially seal the title. In fact, Everton have gone ahead of them in general so far. So, whilst it may seem a little bit outrageous for that we're in 4th, you got to remember last year we did finish 6th, of course, and Man City have dropped off incredibly this year for some reason, don't know why, but they've fallen off. Tottenham, of course, same situation with them. So, 2 of the big 6 have kind of gone entirely. So, Everton and ourselves have essentially replaced them at this point. So, it's not weird that we're in 4th. Liverpool 1 point behind. Chelsea obviously 2 points behind with the game in hand. So do have to meet our expectations a little bit. Of course, teams like West Ham a little bit, Southampton a little bit, Everton especially capitalising as well on the weird situation going on with this top 6. I mean, Man United you could probably argue capitalise on as well, but they do have an insane team now, 10 years in, so not that surprising. But we are favourites for this against Wolves, and considering what happened against them in the stream, say with us, Southampton, I would like to trash them entirely right now. And the good news is we have both defensive midfielders back. Although Lentas, 75 minutes of action, we might as well start Wilson then. They told me to start Coffee, so I will do. Now neither of them particularly good star rating wise there, but so far they've put in better performances than the other guys, so we don't need both Alonso and Madeira on the bench. So with that in mind, Loftus-Cheek can have a punt on there for the time being. When do these guys get back? End of January. Right then. Just because every time I look it changes. So we're still stuck with exactly the same defensive line, just Wilson comes in the anchorman role instead of having Loftus-Cheek here, really. That's really the main change. So, in fact, I'm going to bring him back to complete again. There we are. And away we go. And again, actually, a very surprising lack of new gens. There's 3 of them, actually. Burn with the number 2. Why is there number 2? He can play right back, but he is predominantly a right winger. Why has he got the number 2? Does he just like it? How weird. We were lucky to bring this guy in, by the way, but they just wanted far too much from him, as you may expect. He's 2.5 star as things stand, potential ability off the charts, apparently, and does play inverted. So, despite having a stronger right foot than left foot, it's still a strong left foot. So, yeah, we did look to get him in. But money was an issue on that one. And of course, he's English and under 21, so doesn't need to be registered at all. Keep an eye on that, Brian Byrne. I said that about Shanley. We saw how that one ended up, so maybe I've just cursed him. So, talking about our performance in general this year has kind of got me in a little bit of a reflective mood now. Oh, Grujic has just nipped in. Never mind, it's 1-0. Back on action stations. I mean, it's a set piece, so can't really take too much from it other than the fact we've just poor defended, really, I suppose. What's happened here? Grujic just outjumps. I think number 20 misses it. Is that Wilson? No, it's Foreman. Yeah, Foreman just misses the jump. He's quite tall, so that's quite surprising. Don't you dare do 2 in a row. Thank you. Sorry, I just watched that in silent horror there. Grujic has been tackled by Wilson and probably another highlight. It is, well done. Yeah, kind of got me in a bit of a reflective mood, so... Oh, Seri's just banged in a free kick. Sorry, I'm just going silent at set pieces now because I'm just expecting the worst. But it was our set piece, and it threw me off. Seri, though, fantastic. He's done that before. Ivan Seri just whips that round. Bilo? I'm not sure you're supposed to pronounce their goalie's name, but maybe his nationality would help us know how to pronounce that J, because J is the odd letter in every language. Oh my god, can we stop the corners, please? Both those highlights have started with corners, so I don't know what's going on here. Romario Barrows just goal of the season. Is it going to count? I wonder. Is this going to be one of the ones where the goalie's unsighted by a player that's offside? I think it may be. That might well be the case here. No one's offside. It's no one in the way. Martinez kind of does get in the way of it eventually, but I said Barrow was the one offside, but of course he was the one who took it. I think we got away with that one there, if we're honest, because none of the players who were offside at the point the ball was struck were in the way of the goalkeeper. That is, I mean, if we get anything out of this game, that's slight justice for the FA Cup, Carabao Cup final offside that we suffered with Southampton, which was clearly onside, and then Liverpool went on to win on penalties. So, yeah, it cost us that Carabao Cup final. No, actually, I'm far from pleased. Someone's demotivated. Well, maybe score then. No, I'll turn you around, motivate you. There we are. Problem solved. Yeah, so also that's sort of obviously long-time lurker comments got me thinking as well. It's just how many of you are there? Because I have noticed, I'm not blind to see that my minutes watched is up. Not to get too technical in the middle of a video, but my minutes watched is way, way up. So thank you for all those new people presumably watching. Make yourselves known. Please do. Feel free. This is just running away. 75 minutes gone. There's a highlight. Let's just live life on the edge and interrupt it. Yeah. Okay. Madeira's coming on for Foreman, and that's why we had Alonso on the bench as well, wasn't it? Because Madeira can play up front. Damn. Ebersbach comes on for coffee. I mean, they're both booked as well, which ain't great news. But yeah, I do kind of wonder, like, because my thing is, I don't feel like I'm necessarily the most hyper of storytellers, I say, but nor am I the most chill sort of narrator either. I feel like I'm somewhere in between the two extremes. I mean, that's partially just probably because of my history in general. I've done radio presenting in the past, I've been a teacher in the past, so when it comes to sort of presenting things, it's sort of been a case of preserving energy for the moments when you need to be hyper, if that makes sense, in a weird way. So anyway, Escobar's got on the end of this one, and oh my god, speaking of, I mean, case in point right there. That could not have been scripted any better. Wow. Like, what happens? Escobar here, the movement from Escobar is fantastic in the first place. Coffee, just seeing that run, goes a bit wide for my thinking, but first time strike, far corner. Good God, that's a finish. You see what I mean, though? Like, I'm not necessarily the most hyper, just sort of chilling, talking there for a moment, then bang, comes the moment. I can only assume that's not Lautaro Martinez in their defence. Pretty certain he's at Man United still. Lissandro. Oh, there's another one. Bloody hell, he's actually quite good. 2L Martinez is just ripping the place apart in the Premier League right now. Saxon 71%. We'll just do exactly the same thing as we always kind of do, really. Winger, fullback. Anyway, Laird on the ball now. Obviously fresh onto that pitch. Gone. Selleck's headed it back. Wasn't the greatest of balls across to Madeira there. Speaking of cake. Oh, I mean, how are we all getting on in this in this whole lockdown situation? I know we're basically out of flour, which is really annoying as someone who likes to bake. Barnes, damn it. Get off that ball, Sari, thank you. Yeah, so I'm out of one kind of flour now, so glad the last thing I made with it was absolutely sensational, if I'm honest. It's the best thing I've ever done. But yeah, how are we all getting on in this general thing? Like I say, obviously it's a bit tough for everyone. I mean, that's probably part of the minutes watched going up is obviously everyone's got a little bit more free time. Ebersbach, oh my god. Suddenly we just become sensational in these last 10 minutes. What's happened? Why were we not playing like this all match? We're second. Are Everton and Arsenal playing? Because we are second. What is occurring here? Laird, Ebersbach. Oh, not great from the goalkeeper. He basically falls over. I mean, Bilo took his name a little bit too hard there. Too much to heart. Oh, well, they got one back again. Grujic has scored. What a game. I mean, we've had 4 shots on target. Have we just FM'd them? We have a little bit, haven't we? Let's be honest here. We have a little bit. I mean, that's a great header. 2 set pieces, though, we've conceded from. I'm not pleased by that. Set piece training's going in the training schedule after this one. But we do see it out at 3-2. Grujic scoring in the 9th and 91st minutes. But yeah, we have slightly FM'd them there, let's be real. So after not taking our chances in any way, shape or form against Newcastle, we turn up and do this. What? Like, what? Not consistent at all. Very nice victory, well done, I will say it. Even if the performance wasn't necessarily the best in general, we were clinical, probably for the first time in about 8 years. Burnley 6-0 aside, way back when. Send the system, I've got to deal with Newcastle again soon. Speaking of, though, I think we basically already agree what we're going to do next time round is Brighton and Man City. Those 2 matches, although Everton seems to be a bit more of a draw now. Bear in mind, though, we do have the Euro Cup stuff directly afterwards as well. I think we'll do Man City and Everton, and then we'll probably just do the second leg of this Euro Cup, because obviously 2 legs is a little bit much, maybe? I don't know. We'll work it out when we get to it, because I'm pretty certain the draw happens probably between these 2 matches, because I think the first knockout round is around here. So I'm pretty certain the draw happens in between Brighton and Man City, so depending on who we get is also part of the draw here as well. So if I do Brighton and Man City, and we end up with a big team in the second round, I know I'll get drawn into playing basically all 6 of those matches in this bit here without any gap. So it's trying to balance progression with big matches, and that's the issue. So I think I might just stick with Man City and Everton, and then we'll just commit to only doing the second leg of this, no matter who we get. Any transfer business we'll let you know about as well. Not expecting anything, as I said before, because we have no transfer budget. Basically all relies on selling a player first. Until then, ta-ra.